Ladies and gentlemen, what it do? I am your host, Young, Bo, Easy, and you are tuned in to the Knicks vibes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. All right, I want to jump right into this, man. You know what we're here for. All right, special edition episode. All right, haven't been around for the last three games. Didn't put up a show, and as I get into this, there's going to be a brief recap onto those things, and then we got a lot to talk about. Not only are we going to cover those games that that I didn't report on these last three games, um, but we're going to break down everything that's going on as far as drama with the Knicks. All right, we have a lot to talk about, a lot. Um, so I'm simply just going to start off with saying like, comment, subscribe, share with your peoples. Returning the new. Thank you for being here. Hope you choose to stay if you're new. All right, for the returners, thank you very much. I'm truly, truly grateful. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the show. All right, the Hawks game. Uh, Hawks game. We won that one with ease. All right. Still scored 113 points. Jalen Brunson struggled. RJ Barrett played a okay game, although he didn't shoot so efficient. Um, Still got the job done. He did an okay enough job for us to get the W. Uh, Julius Randle went off easily his best game of the season, and one of his best and most complete games that he's had with the New York Knicks as a whole. All right, top to bottom. And did it with no turnovers. I believe the stats were either 34 and 17, 37 and 17, or something like that. Something crazy. 17 boards, 5 assists, 5 3-pointers, no turnovers. No turnovers. All right. Had a great game, and we were able to still put up 113 points with Jalen Brunson shooting 2 for 14, his worst game of the season easily. RJ Barrett being efficient at the line, but not efficient from the field. All right. Um, and the defense kept the Hawks under 90 points. I believe they had 89 and 113. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a great. It's a win. It's a win against a team that's over 500. So this is big business. You know, this. There's a positive there. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is still drama looming in Broadway. All right, and that's something that we definitely going to be getting into. Uh, Cavs game. Before I even get into that, all right. Um, I was gonna post a picture and all that stuff, but I'm not even gonna give it too much clout. Trey Young came and had some shoes on that said "King of Broadway," and this was a televised game nationally televised game. And I'm a real one. I actually had that dilemma, and I'm just like, you know what? I want to watch it on the home channel. I want to watch it on MSG. But I hear ESPN was almost demoralized, like the way Doris Burke and my man Mark, why am I forgetting his name right now? Mark Jones was reporting on it was like you would have thought the Hawks was up 20. You know, whole lot of sugar lipping. All right, a whole lot of that's what I'm hearing. All right, and for Trey Young to wear those shoes, that's cute. It's cute, and you got blown out by 20 to the point you couldn't even play the whole fourth quarter. So we did our job there. You ain't no king of Broadway unless you're thinking about uh, pulling up. We ain't trying to hear none of that. But that was cute. It was really really cute. And to the ESPN guys, you know, I feel we know what it is on y'all side of things. Any chance y'all get to take a jab at the Knicks, y'all gonna do so. And even when the Knicks are doing good, which that's not a lot, I'll give you that. it's just yeah, don't give it the respect it deserves. So we already know how y'all rocking. It's big money in just pooping on the Knicks. I want to use a different word, but it's big money in pooping on the Knicks is what I see on y'all side of town. So I already gave that too much attention, but that's just what I'm hearing on the ESPN side of things. All right, as far as how that reporting of the game went. If that was a game they won, they would have been like, "Oh my God, he came to your house with King of Broadway shoes on and did this and did that and blah blah blah." And they probably didn't. Would I bet you would have been on First Take and the whole nine? He came in and did this. I didn't watch First Take. They probably didn't even report on the Knicks. That probably wasn't even one of the big discussions because it's just not what they like to do. I could be wrong. But if they discussed the Knicks, I'm pretty sure it was really, really briefly, really, really briefly. But if he won that game with the King of Broadway, it would have been a whole spiel about it. All right, so that's just that wasn't even a plan as far as what I wanted to speak on. There's a whole lot of other serious things that I want to get into. So next up, we're gonna speak on the other game that was prior to the Atlanta game, which was the Cavs game. Another time that we held teams under 90 points, the lowest that the Cavs scored and the lowest that we've held an opponent. A lot of great stats from that game that I'm not going to necessarily break down. I don't have those at the minute, but because of how we lost the Dallas game, when we won the Cavs game, Knicks fans were still demoralized in the Garden. They didn't even one we didn't win in the greatest fashion. We still won. You would think playing great defense like that and getting a win against a legitimate playoff team, the fans would be cheering. But the Dallas game did something to the New York fans. And for me, I didn't even want to do a show because I was in my feelings. We were not supposed to. If we were supposed to lose that game, that's fine. At the end of the day, you got a Luka Doncic up there, and anything is possible. But this game was in the bag. They were literally saying, "Here, take it." And we went on maybe the biggest slump that we did this season, and we pretty much did the same thing this game, the Hawks game. They had a 17-0 run. We went almost 5 minutes without a bucket. This is kind of like last season now. But we went, mind you now, something I've always been saying all season is this team could put the ball in the hoop. We went 5 minutes without scoring and we still put up 113 points. Let's digest that. That game, they went on a huge run when we played Dallas. And never, I believe that was also 17-0 run. And we did not recover. And they were giving us the game. And you are a fool if you think you're going to get 4 quarters of Luka Doncic struggling. There is no way. Not only that, Tim Hardaway shot us out the building. We lost so badly, so bad that I think that was still in the. I wasn't when I was watching the game. I couldn't celebrate the Cavs win because I was still so upset about the Dallas loss and the way it happened. We should not lose a game like that. We should not. They haven't been playing the best basketball, their best basketball all season. And that was probably one of their best games. In our building, Jalen Brunson had to try to rile up the fans in his post-game interview. but it was just so dead. It was so dead. You would have thought it was a loss. Now, please, ladies and gentlemen, after that Dallas loss, not only did Jalen Brunson play bad, everybody was ready to attack the coach, and Jalen Brunson defended him. Now, ever since Jalen Brunson defended him, we haven't seen the same Jalen Brunson. That's we're just starting out, and ladies and gentlemen, this isn't really the cream of the crop of what I want to discuss. This was just the appetizer. All right, this isn't even the real topics that I want to discuss. But these last 3 games, 2-1. But Knicks fans are in a weird place because of how we lost to Dallas. We was not supposed to lose that game. We were not supposed to lose that game. And we need to become a team that when we're supposed to win, we need to lock down the win and stop allowing runs like this. Let's get into the real topics of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Cam Reddish is out of the rotation. All right? Cam Reddish is out of the rotation, and the rumor is he wants a trade. But once again, Cam Reddish denies it. He denies it. Says, I don't know what y'all talking about. You guys know more than me. I'm just chilling at the crib. I don't want no trade. What could possibly be going wrong for me to want a trade, you know? Everything is great here in New York. Cam Reddish is out of the rotation. And Deuce McBride is getting more burn than Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish didn't get in the whole game for, I believe, the past two games, 2 or 3 games. I don't even think he played in the Dallas game. Or maybe that was the last time we seen him. But Deuce McBride is getting more. Now, mind you, Deuce McBride's effort has been phenomenal since he's been getting real rotation minutes. They said something, and to process it just made it's ridiculous. They said in actual NBA play, Deuce McBride has only 82 minutes before the game he played last night, I believe. 82 minutes. There's 48 minutes in a game. And that means he was literally just coming in garbage time. And when he would come in, it'd be for just a chunk of minutes, 2, 3, 4 minutes. Nothing too crazy. He has game where he started. And all he's played is 82 minutes. He's playing ahead of Cam Reddish right now. Cam Reddish has every reason to want to trade. He has every reason to want to trade. Break it down. Miles McBride plays great defense, but he can't give you nothing on offense just yet. I do feel like that part of his game is coming. The game hasn't slowed down for him yet offensively, and there's still some mechanics that he could work on. But when you see him in college, that first year didn't go correctly. The second year, he started to find that touch and was shooting at an efficient percentage from deep and efficient just from the field in general. 40% from deep, I believe, 41 to be exact. And was averaging 16 points. Really, really good. If you watch Miles McBride highlights coming into the league, Miles McBride was a solid mid-range shooter. So once the game slows down for him offensively, maybe we got more of a positive going on here. Cam Reddish can play defense and play offense, but still, Miles McBride is ahead of him, and Miles is not putting up no points, barely. I don't know the stats, but I don't even think he cracked 6 points last night. I'm not too sure. The highest score off the bench, I believe, was 8 points last night. Now, Obi Toppin went down, and Cam Reddish still didn't get burned. Obi Toppin didn't play the second half because he has a sore knee. MRIs was negative, and they're still going to be checking on him to see what's going on with Obi. But it doesn't seem like Obi is going to be playing the next couple of games due to this sore knee. And it doesn't seem like Cam Reddish is going to play. How? We were already in a 9-man rotation, including Obi. Obi went down, and Cam Reddish still can't get minutes. It's to the point where Tom Thibodeau mentioned R.J. Barrett playing the 4. R.J. Barrett is a 2 who has to play the 3, and everybody's been talking about how comfortable, blah, 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 he can be at that 3 position. Now, you're putting him 2 positions away at the 4, and Cam Reddish can't get no burn? It's crazy. But let's stay where we at. Last name we just mentioned is R.J. Barrett. The frustration with R.J. continues. This dude is shooting, he's averaging 18 points. Cool, nice. Shooting 40% and 28.5% from deep. He'll have a good game, and then it's some of the most inefficient basketball that I've ever seen. For somebody who gets into the paint as frequently. And for lack of a better term, as easy as this man can get into the paint, bulldoze his way into the paint, just to miss, is something of the likes I've never seen before. I've never seen something like this before. Somebody that can get to the rack but can't finish. Can't finish. So with this Cam Reddish and RJ situation going on, and these dudes going through their troubles, like RJ RJ was so stoic in everything, that was going on. And when Julius Randle was having his trouble, RJ was picking up the pieces, and we're like, wow, a 21-year-old is the one that's keeping his cool, and Julius Randle's supposed to be the leader of the team. And listen, the veil has lifted. RJ Barrett has cracked. We are seeing frustration on his face that we couldn't see before, even if he was feeling it. He is showing emotion that he is furious right now. Not like Julius Randle from last season. I'm not saying it's that far. But you're seeing emotion that RJ is not happy with his play right now. And he's right. Because you haven't been playing not only up to what everyone else wants you to play, but I'm sure the standards that you put upon yourself, he hasn't been playing up to that standard. So with all of this Cam Reddish and RJ situation, you can see why the love for Grimes is what it is. During the offseason, when there was the whole Donovan Mitchell trade and everything going on, some people denied the validity of Tibbs saying, I rather Quentin Grimes over RJ Barrett. To my knowledge, I don't think that was ever confirmed nor denied. but a lot of people denied those rumors. I don't know if they were confirmed and denied from the source. I don't know if Tibbs cleared this up, but a lot of people on the outside of that aren't Tibbs feel like nah, that's not. It's not what it is. So some people denied the validity of that. But you don't have to look far. You could see just by how he speaks on Grimes and how the second that the season started with Quentin Grimes out of the rotation. You know what I'm saying? The season started with Quentin Grimes out of the rotation. Fournier started, but now Fournier is out of the rotation. He's pretty much 1 foot out the door. Cam Reddish was starting. The second he went down, Quentin Grimes was able to get his starting spot back. That starting spot, as long as this man is healthy, is not going nowhere. It's not going nowhere. And some people think it's politics. Quentin Grimes has that starting position because it's politics. But this is the reality that some people don't want to hear. You ready? This is the reality that some people don't want to hear. Hot take. Ladies and gentlemen, Quentin Grimes, as an all-around player, all around, hear me clearly, Quentin Grimes as an all-around player has the best ceiling on this team. Has the best ceiling on this team. He can shoot. Fournier is out the door. That's the only person you could compare to him. He's the best shooter on the team. I think he had 5 threes last night and was 5 for 7. He hit 8 of 11 as far as field goal. That's efficient. That's efficient. So let's stay right there. He's efficient. He can go to the rack. You might say Julius Randle is the star. Yes, cool. I understand that. All around ceiling, this man is the best player on the squad. He's the best defender on the team. It's not even close. Miles McBride is second, and then you got Mitch Robinson. He could pass the ball. Not only can he pass, he can play make. There is a difference between passing the ball and playmaking. You can argue maybe Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle are the best playmakers on the team. After that, Quentin Grimes is the best playmaker on this team that's active. You could argue for Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is out of the rotation. You could argue for Quickly, but you haven't seen this from Quickly this year. His interior passing is elite. I'm talking about 10 feet around the basket. He is getting passes through the cracks and feeding his big men. On multiple occasions, you have evidence of this. So he's the best shooter on the team. He's probably one of the most, besides Jalen Brunson, he's probably the most efficient player. Once Quentin Grimes is playing like Quentin Grimes, he's the most efficient player on this team. Aside from Jalen Brunson. He can play make. He can rebound. He can move without the ball and slash. He's efficient. And he's the best defender on this team. Ladies and gentlemen, let's clear that up right there. We played Shai Gilgeous-Alexander the first game, and he ran amok. And the whole team scored 145 points. I don't think Quentin Grimes is around for that. Quentin Grimes is not around for that. And if he was, he wasn't healthy. He wasn't 100%. We played the Thunder again, and it took 22 shots for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to get 30 points. Why? There was a different defender on him. Quentin Grimes was on White on Rice. We just played Donovan Mitchell. We know what Donovan Mitchell did his first game. He had 30 plus with ease. Donovan Mitchell had 23 points in 39 minutes, shot 36% from the field. Guess who was on him? Quentin Grimes played 40 minutes that game. White on Rice. DeJounte Murray ran amok the first time they played us. 30 plus. He got hurt. Trae Young finished with 25 last night. Couldn't do anything. Who was the main defender on him? Quentin Grimes. He even saw Miles McBride, and he couldn't really move how he wanted to move. This is why. This is why. And literally, as I'm speaking, they're saying multiple teams are eyeing Reddish. So this move is being done. But this is the facts that we need. We need efficient, all-around players who's going to give us effort on both ends of the floor. To put around a star so we could take this thing to the next level. And Quentin Grimes is a huge piece of that. Huge piece of that. Emmanuel Quickley is also on the trading block. And as soon as the trade doors open up, he could be somebody that's out of here because they're thinking of attaching him or Cam to a Fournier to get what they want. Whether it's more draft capital to start making a move for that star. So that's something that we're going to be getting into later. I'm not a huge fan of the Emmanuel Quickley thing because Emmanuel Quickley is somebody who's he's bulked up. He's gotten, it's not crazy how much weight he put on, but he's got more muscle on him to make more contact plays. And he's searching out the contact and finishing at the basket and not getting his shot blocked. And it's not as easy to defend him like it was last season. He's finishing through contact. And he plays great defense. So I'm not a huge fan of this because what? Who we getting? Who we getting? All right? That's something also that we're going to speak on a little, as we move forward. But this is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Julius Randle played a great game. And he's having an okay season. Julius Randle's having an okay season. All right? Averaging 21 points, basically 22 in 33 minutes. 9 rebounds and 3.5 assists. Turnovers are under 3. It's a good season for Julius Randle. Is it that most improved player? No, of course not. One, he doesn't even need to do that because you got another dude that's averaging 20 right with you in Jalen Brunson and somebody who's borderline, though not efficient. RJ Barrett is close to 20 points with 18. So you don't necessarily need to do this. But like I said a while back, I don't care how Julius Randle plays. Julius Randle needs to get out of here. We need to make moves. We need to go in a different direction. Julius Randle is not a team that you're going. It is not a player that you're going to win with on your team as the first option. So I don't care how good he plays. The energy is better. He's smiling. He's happy. He seems to be in a good mind state. This, that, and the third. We're still seeing flaws there with the defense. Sometimes you won't even run out to close out when dudes are shooting in the corner or wherever they are. There's still some things that you don't like in this. Although he had no turnovers last game, there's still some games where you're just turning the ball over and going back to your old habits. But he looks better. This is the Julius Randle that we needed for this season. But ladies and gentlemen, moving forward, we need to go in a different direction. And that man, like I said on the previous episode, has $120 million to his name. He's got to go. And this is not the type of player that you win with. So I don't care how good he's playing. Average 30. Go ahead. I don't care. Because when it comes playoff time, we are out first round. The only thing that could possibly save us is this defense, but I don't believe that you could keep that energy once playoff starts. And it's real teams. Our record, I believe, against plus 500 teams, after these two games now, after just beating these last two teams, the Hawks and Cleveland, it may be like 4-11 or 5-11. We don't do good against plus 500 teams. Most of our victories are over dudes under 500. And that is the facts. It might be. We need to go in a different direction. Simple as that. All right? Literally an hour and a half ago, or maybe 2 hours at the most, an article was released. And I'm going to let you jump into that with me, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go into the screen share. All right? Trade ideas to save New York Knicks season. All right? Let's get to it. The first one on the list is Miles Turner to the Big Apple. They're saying Josh Richardson, Terry Taylor, Miles Turner is who we would get. Evan Fournier, Emmanuel Quickly, Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin, the Dallas pick and Detroit's second round pick to the Pacers. And San Antonio would receive Mitchell Robinson. Ladies and gentlemen, why would we do this trade? Why? Why would we do this trade? That's my question. All right. The Terry Taylor dude, you don't have highlights of him, but just last season. I didn't. Granted, I could have looked more, but all I'm seeing is really G League. I'm not too impressed with this trade, and to give up so many pieces to just get Josh Richardson, Terry Taylor, and Miles Turner, and give up Mitch, who's been the best offensive rebounder that we could have, not only in the league, but like he's just putting in a ridiculous effort. I don't want to part with Mitchell Robinson just to get Miles Turner. Josh Richardson is cool. We would be shooting more, but we would lose out on rebounding. Julius Randle is not going to be rebounding like this every game. All right? So I'm not even going to speak too much on my opinions on all of them, but I just want you to see the type of trades that they're saying could save the next season. Let's go with the next one. Dice roll with Phoenix, Jay Crowder, Dario Saric, and Julius Randle. Ladies and gentlemen, I literally have the evidence. There's video, and I'm going to put it up at the top, for trade ideas that I did, I believe, before the season even started. And this was the exact trade that I said we should do. Get Jay Crowder and Dario Saric for Julius Randle. Get that contract out of here. Let Phoenix go and compete one last time because this might be the last hoorah for Chris Paul before they go back to being a mid playoff team. But after this year, I think once Chris Paul, I don't see Chris Paul playing at an OD elite level next year, and that's when Devin Booker is probably going to be thinking about making a move. I think that would be best for him. All right, Kyle Kuzma ends up in orange and blue. New York Knicks get Will Barton, Kyle Kuzma, and we give up Julius Randle quickly, the Dallas pick, and Detroit's second round pick. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm all for this one. I am all for it. I love the way Kuzma plays. He gives you a different dimension. He plays more face up than back to the basket. And when you can play through him, he's putting up great stats this season. Really, really good stats this season. All right? And it just be a different dimension. Less money. You get Will Barton, who's a great hustle player and just a good role player. Solid, you know? To give up quickly Julius Randle, that Dallas pick in a second rounder, I don't see no complaints there. They have a second one where they add Vernon Carey to the Will Barton and Kyle Kuzma. We would add Julius Randle, Cam Reddish, Washington's pick, so they would want their first round pick back, along with the Dallas pick. I don't like that one because I'm not a fan of Vernon Carey. I don't think we need another center. We have iHeart. We have Jericho Sims. There's no reason to bring Vernon Carey here unless we're buying out the contract. But still, we could keep one of those first round picks. You know, I wouldn't give two first round picks just to get, in all reality, Kyle Kuzma because Will Barton will probably be out his way after the season's end. All right. So I said I wasn't going to give too much of my opinion, but hey, it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, clearing up the front court with the LA Clippers. Robert Covington, Luke Kennard to get Julius Randle. Listen, I want Julius Randle out of here. I would say I'm not this desperate, but at the same time, that's shooters. Covington is a great two-way player. I won't say great, but he's a good two-way role player who can, hey, have one of those nights where, you know, everything he's feeling good. And play defense. Luke Kennard is somebody who can go off for you and hit shots. So in a way, this could be a good trade. And you get off that Randall contract, and then you give my man Kawhi, you know what I'm saying, a chance to make a run for the title. I don't know how that's going to fit necessarily, but this is the type of role that Julius Randle would thrive in. He's not the number one. He's not the number two. He could probably be the dude coming off the bench. Him and John Wall could go crazy. And we get that contract off the books. And now we're really talking as far as getting the start. We don't give up any picks and we let go of a Randle. We don't need to attach, you know, players to him. So I like a move like this. All right? Exchanging roadblock deals with Miami. Dwayne Dedman, Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson for Svi Mahailu, Julius Randle, and Detroit's second round pick. Now, the things that we're giving up, I don't mind any of it. Svi is a great shooter, but I don't know how if that energy is kept when you're playing against the top rotation players. We see him in garbage time. Julius Randle, of course. We need this contract off the books. We just need the contract off the books. Plain and simple. And then to give up a second rounder, you know, we have too many of them. But Dwayne Dedman, maybe that's a buyout because we don't need another center. Caleb Martin, okay. And then Duncan Robinson. It's a shooter. But that's pretty much. I don't remember exactly what he's getting paid, but that's pretty much the same as what Fournier is getting, I believe. His contract is not too far away from what Fournier is getting paid. Although, actually, he might have the same amount a year. Oh, there you go. He's owed 57.5 million over the next 3 years. I don't know if I want to pay Duncan Robinson that. I think that one is just pointless. All right. I think that one is just pointless. So those are the trade ideas. All right. Now the front office is cracking down, and with that said, it's cracking down on the whole team, and it might start. We're talking about the front office, which is the top, but it might be the top of the top. When I say that, it's James Dolan might be cracking down on everybody, which in turn is cracking down on even the players. Because it quickly shouldn't be necessarily gone right now when there aren't really any stars that you could go for, which is the question now. What stars? Because you need a star player. We hear the name Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is getting paid damn near 50 a year, 50 million a year. I love Zach LaVine. That's one of my guys. He's played in the Tibbs system before, but has some injury history. I'm not in the business of just getting players to win 5 to 8 or 10 more games. I want to compete. And I know Knicks fans share the same sentiment. I want to compete. We want to go for championships. All right? We want to be competing with the Bucks and the Celtics, those teams that are at the top. Be the dark horse like a Miami. That's the type of business that we need to put ourselves in. All right? So which star are we going for? Joel Embiid, they're one seat above us, the Sixers. Harden, I believe, is still down. I don't know if he's come back yet. But I don't see that team necessarily doing anything. But that's another dude with his injury history. Is it worth making that move? I believe he's in his upper 20s. Is it worth making that move? That's something that I would give away a Mitch for. What are we? I don't know. I would say Devin Booker is the number one guy that I look at and say, and I believe he was a Knicks fan growing up. I believe he was a Knicks fan growing up. So the way I see it now, the only openings that I truly, truly see, but we're going to have to give up a lot, is SGA, Devin Booker, and Karl Towns. Those are the only guys that I necessarily see that in the near future, because James Harden, I believe, is a free agent after the season, but we don't want James Harden. I would hope we're not just getting players just to get players because it doesn't mean anything to just win 10 extra games if you're still getting kicked out first, second round. We're trying to compete. We're trying to build something very, very solid here. And it's clear that we need shooters. It's clear. But we need all around players. We need efficiency. And my thing is, Tibbs cannot be here when the next star comes in. Tibbs cannot be here. That's just my opinion. Tibbs can't be here. His saving grace is defense. You know, we started out the season and he's went all the way up to a 11-man rotation. But maybe that was the front office, just saying, hey, these are our incentives and this is what we need you to do. And I feel like now that everything's clamping down and they're saying, yo, we need to win games, Tibbs resorted back to doing things his way and went to the 9-man rotation. Now, I will say these last 2 games, keeping dudes under 90 points is phenomenal, but I don't know if I'm convinced that this is a consistent thing. And this isn't just me being a party pooper. I want to believe that we could continue to play this type of defense. But I don't know. I don't know. Cleveland is a phenomenal team, top to bottom. They were missing Jared Allen, but they had all the scores they needed. Garland was present. Karis LeVert was present. Donovan Mitchell was present. Evan Mobley was present. All these dudes that normally put up buckets for them were present. Jared Allen could play some better defense for them. Cool. But they had the scorers that they needed to go out there and win a game. And we kept them under 90 points. So in a way, you have to respect that. And then the Hawks, I believe they shot maybe 16%, a very, very low percentage from deep. And only 38% from the field. So you have to put respect on this type of defense. Is it a consistent thing? And with Obi out, is it going to be an 8-man rotation? Because it doesn't seem like Cam is getting any burn. Maybe they want to keep him fresh, just like they're doing Evan Fournier for certain trades. And with this trade talk, Lakers, Heat, and Bucks are the ones interested in acquiring Cam Reddish. So as far as these last two games, I don't know if I'm convinced, but it's clear. Cam Reddish is out the door. They're going to try their best to get off the Evan Fournier contract. And I believe that's the route we need to go. We need to get rid of the Julius Randle contract. We need to get rid of the Evan Fournier contract. Derrick Rose is out the rotation. His might be an option for that third year. He's in the second year. It might be an option for the third year. So if that's the case, you can leave somebody like that around, especially if you're thinking about trading quickly. Which I don't understand at this moment because that's somebody who's playing two-way for you. And then figure out what you're going to be doing with the RJ situation. Now, I'm somebody who wants to see RJ Barrett without Julius Randle. What does that look like? What does that look like? If we have to sacrifice this season to do what somewhat looks like a rebuild, to knock off these contracts, and if we have no choice but to resort to a Caleb Martin and Dwayne Dedman and Duncan Robinson, cool. And let's just finish this season out and then start to dump contracts. The Duncan Robinson thing could be a tradable contract. Everybody needs shooters. I like the Kyle Kuzma one. He just signed that contract. He might have maybe 3 years or 2 years left. I like Kyle Kuzma. At the 4, gonna give you energy defensively. Definitely gonna play some offense. He can go off certain nights. I gotta check his stats, but that's a little more efficiency. So you have an efficient point guard. You need efficient players all around. You in Grimes, you have a mostly efficient two guard who's gonna play great defense. You got to figure out what you're doing with RJ Barrett. And then if you have a Kuzma, cool. You have more shooters. We need more shooters, and we need people that's going to continue to play defense. But we have to. The main thing is being efficient. And then when we plug in that star, when he gives up that rock, when he's getting that star attention and has to give up that rock, is he giving it to efficient players? That's what we need. We have the rebounding. We can rebound the ball. We can get in the paint. So even if we lose a Julius Randle, we're still getting in the paint. We're still getting rebounds. Everybody puts an effort to rebound, and that's one thing I can't really knock. Jalen Brunson, rebounds. RJ Barrett, rebounds. Grimes, rebounds. Emmanuel Quickly had a 16 rebound game. He's going to go after those rebounds. McBride is going to rebound. Mitchell Robinson, that goes unsaid. He's going to rebound on the offensive glass. That's even better. You know what I'm saying? So what's the move? We need to clean this up and clean it up now. Because I actually like Leon Rose. I told you there's no Leon Rose slander. But there's also the only thing I could say is listen, it's a business. There's no friends in business. Tibbs has to go. We have the Hornets, and then we got a couple games against the Bulls. I'm not too sure. We have the Hornets, we have the Kings, and then I believe that's when the back-to-back against the Bulls go. So we should be winning these next couple of games. Is the defense going to be the same? That's the question. So that's his saving grace. If the team continue to play this deep, because that's one thing we were expecting. We were expecting, yeah, we're gonna play some good defense. At the end of the day, it's a Tibbs team. But the offense is playing out of their mind. We get buckets. Like I said, Jalen Brunson, 2 for 14, 4 for 13 for RJ Barrett. The bench pretty much gave us nothing last game. Quentin Grimes and Julius Randle, along with some help from Mitch, went off. And we still bagged 113 points. So this team could put the ball in the hoop. If the defense follows, cool. Maybe Tibbs could stick. That buys him some time. But if he's going to continue to stick around with this 8-man, 9-man rotation, especially when trades go down now and we actually get some valid pieces in here, I don't know how I feel about that. He might need to step out. He might need to step out. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my show for today. I pretty much got everything off my chest that I needed to. That's the drama that's going down on Broadway, ladies and gentlemen. New York Knicks, we are 12-13, not completely out of the loop. But we need to make trades, and we need to make trades fast. I would say as soon as the door opened for those trades, I think we need to do that immediately. I don't think we wait because there's a thing of chemistry. You got to get the chemistry of the team. Some people like a Brunson, but he had training camp. But when it comes to these trades, you want somebody to mesh immediately with the team, pick up the concept, and let's go. There's some players that we would like to see stay, but at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, this is the beginning of the end of seeing players that we love go. It could be Quickly. It could be Obi Toppin. It could be Cam Reddish. It's looking like it's definitely Cam Reddish. Fournier might not be one of the favorites for everybody, but that he's on his way out. He's on his way out. Isaiah Hartenstein could be on his way out because a dude like Jericho Sims needs burn, and I think that only makes our defense better if you have him as a backup to Mitchell Robinson. He's even beginning to look like a solid starter. That's how good Jericho Sims is. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my show. You already know what the vibes is, man. Hornets next on Friday. All right? I should be here to give y'all that breakdown. Love, gratitude, positive attitude. You already know how we rockin'. I'm your host, Young Bo Easy. All right? You've been tuned into the Knicks Vibes. I truly hope you enjoyed the show. Like, comment, subscribe. Share with your peoples. And I'll catch you on the next one.